So I got an absolutely amazing response to the LEGO City update last week. It's the most viewed LEGO City update I've ever had on the channel. And so I thought actually with this one this week, I'm going to maybe go back to how I used to do it and see if people like that. So first of all, please comment in the comments down below if you like this style or how you'd want me to go about my LEGO City updates. But this week I thought I'd do a little 30-second B-roll of kind of all the stuff that I've done this week to see if you guys are interested in that content. Then I go and answer a couple of the comments from last week's City update, and actually one of them in particular is what got me onto this week's City update. And then after that I'm just going to go through in vloggy style what I've done this week to show you step by step all the little bits and how it was all going on in my head. But anyways, let's get straight into it. So we're back with another LEGO City update, and you may have seen there is some slight changes here. Don't worry, this is just me messing around because I did manage to get a couple of the new LEGO City sets this week. So I was just placing them in. I know that they're way too small, do not worry. It's just that I wanted to see how they actually look to get myself ideas thinking of what mocks I want to put in those places. But it's slowly getting there at the moment. You can see I just slowly started putting like the Octane gas station over in the corner, as well as the new town shopping street, I think it is, in town centre square right over here. And as you can see, these buildings here are obviously way too small compared to modulars, but it's just a starting point for giving me some ideas of thinking of what I want to do, because obviously I don't want to have another bakery really, but the sports shop is kind of cool, and there are some 3-in-1 sets that might go well with that from last year. I just need to kind of find out where I've actually put them away. But one good thing about these sets is they do actually give me some more road plates, so kind of started putting some road plates out along the front here, so you can kind of see that's what I had the idea of, and then going around the corner. So before I start this week's LEGO City update, I just want to answer a couple of comments that were in the chat. First one is from Hike13, which says, I'm going to ask a question. Is there anything that prevents you from shortening the table legs so you can get headroom back for your modulars, besides massive amounts of work? I love the multiple levels to reduce the tracks eating up space. So what they're on about here is obviously this bit here is a really awkward height piece, and that's because I have this added on, this new plate onto another set of tables. Now, what you're saying is that can I reduce the height of these tables here? Which, yes, I can, but at the moment, these are actually on the IKEA tables. I can't remember what these are called, but this is basically a modular shelving unit. So, yes, I could actually change that. And actually, the legs that the City's currently on are these ones, which do have kind of adjusters there. So I could actually make it even smaller to that, but I could order some new table legs at some point. And I think that's probably what I will do in the near future. But at the moment, I don't think it really matters because I am not anywhere near filled up this space. So maybe once I've got a load of retired modulars and mocks going all the way around here and it's getting a bit too full, and I do really want to use that space that I'm losing behind there, then yes, I think I will actually look at reducing the table legs. So really good question. I think for now, it took me a lot of effort to get it to this point, and then realizing that I really was inching out a little bit too much on the height. So yes, definitely could do that in the future, and then I could save a little bit of space. I mean, it's only really this part of the city anyway, because over here I do actually have the height back. So there's this kind of weird angle here, and then I lose the height a little bit at the back as well, but it's not actually too bad. The next question is from Family Bricks, and he asks, did you make those bits of timber with adjustable feet yourself, or where did you get them from? Now, what he's on about here is these little bits right here, and yes, I did make them myself. Basically, what I did was I cut down a normal piece of wood like so, and then what you do is from Amazon, I actually found these, which are adjustable legs that you actually tap in these bits here, and then you can hammer them in. So you drill this into the wood, then you tap in those little bits right there, and then you basically create an adjustable leg, and they've worked really, really well actually. It also means that I am terrible at cutting wood, so it doesn't mean I have to be too accurate with this, because as long as you can then adjust them afterwards, it's absolutely fine. So worked a treat. The next question is from Jay Blythe. I believe that's how you say your name. Sorry if I got that wrong, but it says, have you thought about placing your diner on the other side of the corner garage and making it into a corner modular? Could look cool and keep away from the ceiling. Cheers, mate, keep up the good work. Now, what he's on about here is obviously the diner can't fit here because it fell off when I did that earlier, and he's on about that there's this big gap here, which obviously my diner is currently right there, so I could create it as a corner modular. Yes, I could do that. However, I did say I was on the hunt for retired modulars and had ideas of what was going to go there, and that's because that bit there is actually going to get replaced by the Palace Cinema, which I managed to find this at an absolute steal on eBay the other day. So this is one that's going to be live streamed at some point when I've got through my other backlog, but that's what's going to go there, is the Palace Cinema. And then actually in the future, the corner garage isn't going to be going here. It's actually going to be going over there where that haunted house is. And I do want to get the Grand Emporium. So maybe the Palace Cinema goes there and the Grand Emporium goes there, because they're the two biggest ones. And I think they'll really add impacts to this part of the city as well. So the last question is from Brickspong, and they said, brilliant progress this week. Will you have a platform 9 3/4, maybe near the amusement park? Now, obviously that's because Diagon Alley is currently over here, which was kind of going to be the amusement park. I think I might move these actually back over into the city for some point, just to kind of have an idea of what it'll look like with heights and stuff. However, platform 9 3/4 would be awesome. And if you guys don't know, one of my first ever mocks is actually using the Disney train station here and the platform 9 3/4, which I used as just a normal kind of area for a train platform. However, it did get me thinking, this is where the big train station is going to be going. And don't worry, I am going to be building this. However, it's a hell of a lot of money and I just don't have the bricks for it at the moment because I'm trying to save up to get this stuff done. This is my priority for this year. This is kind of taking second priority at the moment, but I do have a train station at the moment. So what I thought was actually to start this week's update is to actually remove all this, which is actually part of that train station that I started and realized I just had nowhere near enough bricks to even start raising the foundations. But what I could do is take this Disney train station off of this base plate to add it onto this base plate here, and then add the platform 9 3/4 going over here, and then potentially in the future buy the Hogwarts train again, because I don't actually have the train, I only bought the platform. I could buy the train on offer and have that here as an underground part of the facade here, so you would see it poking through. And I can easily remove this leg here, don't worry about that, I'll just re-screw a hole further back. But I could have it there as like a little Easter egg that you could see that Hogwarts is actually there. It wouldn't be running on a separate track, but I could have it maybe where I add a track in, so you could then get it running on the track if we wanted to at some point. So I think that's going to be the start of this week's city update. I'm going to take this off of this, put it onto that base plate, and then we'll kind of take it from there. Now, as I'm just planting this onto the train station, I just wanted to double check that this would be able to go underneath, because before, obviously, the train wasn't raised and I had to build this up a little bit, but it does look like it should be able to just about fit underneath with the without having to add anything. So it should be okay. I'll try it, I'll clip it down and then see what it actually looks like, and hopefully we'll be able to go through fine. Okay, so after figuring out all the maths and doing some tiling, this is what I have got. So the train station is now tiled in to the side where that other train station will go. But I think this is looking pretty decent, actually. I'm quite surprised at how well it looks. If I just take a step back, you can see what it looks like from a distance. Now, you're asking probably, or wondering, why are the old road plates here? Well, that's because I never said I wasn't going to use the old road plates, but I'm kind of just using it to map out the idea that I had in my head for how the under part is going to go, because what I want to do is potentially have 1 or 2 modulars going here. So I probably will still use the new road plates, I'm not sure yet, but I'm just kind of mapping it out with these old ones. But I thought you could have maybe the town hall or something going here, which would look absolutely awesome, and then a couple more, because obviously nothing can go past this bit here. But then you could have go right down. This could maybe get tiled up to be like a taxi rank, which is why I just had that taxi there. And then this road would then go over and have to do some like train crossings, go under into like an imaginary tunnel over here, just to give it a little bit of depth. And then obviously the main bit over here. But I do like these road plates. Like I say, I just think these kind of do look all right actually here. Just a little bit too big, but they do perfectly match the table. So it might be something that I keep for these bits. And obviously also I have to keep them at base plate height because the trains are on base plates and I don't really want to be changing that all to normal plates to kind of change all this. So here is the 9 3/4 section. This is the bit from the latest Hogwarts train. Now I actually bought this on eBay as just that bit. But what I'm thinking is actually buying a whole nother one to have another bit and mock it over here, and then have 9 3/4 here with the train then just kind of as a little hint of it there, and have this kind of like as a brick wall with a little bit showing so you kind of see through it. That's the magical kind of area of Harry Potter, which is kind of what we got here. So I would actually change this one, make it more of a normal platform, and then have that. But I want to just make sure that this kind of does go underneath. So I've got my iPad over here, and we can give it a test run. So first of all, let's start with the outside one. And this is actually probably the tightest one to go round because there is that little bit of a nubbin right there. But it seems to go around absolutely fine. And then let's change it to the other one. Now, for some reason, I can't figure out how to get them both working on the iPad at the same time. I don't know why, but here is the other train. Now, this is the moment of truth. So let's get this one going. and it fits under. Absolutely awesome. So there we go. So I want to know what you guys think of that. Obviously it took me a little bit longer to work out the maths and stuff, how this works, but I actually think this looks really, really cool. And it's obviously a set that I already had and was using as a train station. So for now, whilst I don't have that ridiculous like 700 quid to pay for the mock that I was thinking of doing originally, this just kind of is a standard, and it just kind of gives the city just a little bit of depth. You'll see what is going to be going on over there as we move further over. Now I still need to do a lot of tidying over in this corner, but Ninjago is getting built at the moment as a live stream, so that's going to be awesome. I'm going to be going over here with the docks and the gardens when that comes out. Another bonus of actually taking apart the Disney train station bit is that this bit that I mocked at the front is actually all these 1x4 pieces, which are perfect for the new the new road plates, so I can actually use them for cleaning up the road plates a little bit. So I've managed to clean up the road plates a little bit more down here, and you can kind of see how it's going to look with that road plate going all the way down. It is a little shiny, and obviously it doesn't help with my lighting in this room, but I do really like this. Now, I did have a question of someone asking if I was going to do what I did as my road plate solved and raise these up. Sadly, I don't have the bricks to do that. I actually took these off at the moment because I was using the plates for another build. But I will be doing that, don't worry. And I have actually ordered light kits for these as well. So I'm going to be doing that all at the same time, raising it up with the light kits. But for now, I'm still messing around with what I want to go where. I don't think these are going to stay here. I do think these ones will because they are perfect in height. But I'm a little bit unsure with that one when I raise it up by another 2 plates, whether it'll actually fit there or not. But that's it for this week's LEGO City update. Let me know what you think about how it's going. And obviously, let me know what kind of ideas you want to see of these kind of be mocked into. I need to obviously have stickers and things like that that will go with certain things. But I'm trying to plan out what potentially will be going here. And obviously, probably next thing we'll be seeing is the new modular police station when that ever arrives for me. Obviously, UK are having issues with it at the moment, but I'm hoping it'll be coming sooner rather than later. And then obviously we've got Palace Cinema here, as well as I may have ordered another modular that if it comes in the post, you'll see it on next week's update. So that's it for this week's LEGO City update. I'd really be interested in the comments down below if you can let me know if you like this style with the B-roll at the beginning, or you just want me to get straight into it, or you don't really care about me answering comments either, or maybe I should do that as a once-a-month kind of video where I just go through all the comments from that month and then maybe change things up. Really interested in knowing your thoughts, because like I said, the LEGO City content is very more ad hoc, me kind of just throwing my creativity at the wall with all the city stuff. That's the whole beauty of a city, but I'd love to know how you guys want me to kind of format this going forward. But anyways, if you really liked the video, then how about a like, and if you absolutely loved it, then how about subscribe? And as always, have an absolute awesome day. Hoping the police station comes next week, because I also should be finishing the Ninjago City on a live stream as well, so I can add both of those into the city, which will be pretty cool, as well as maybe getting some more of those road plates.